Action movies have thrilled and delighted audiences for decades. With their carefully choreographed fight scenes and action sequences. In today's video, we'll be selecting our top picks for the top 10 most realistic fight scenes in movies. From bone-crunching brawls to meticulously planned sequences, these films deliver fight scenes that will leave you breathless and in amazement. Number 10. Gina Carano vs. Everybody. Gina Carano was an MMA fighter who wanted to make the transition to movies years before she became a controversial figure on social media. Her major break came in 2011 when she was offered the main role in Steven Soderbergh's spy thriller Haywire. Unlike other current films, Haywire avoided over-the-top action in favor of a more restrained and realistic one. The film did not break any box office records, yet it did well with the critics. Carano's MMA background is fully utilized in this movie as she goes on the offensive from the start of the film. She fights Channing Tatum and Michael Fassbender in some grippingly authentic close quarters movements. Number 9. A fight between friends. The Yards 2000. Fight sequences in movies often appear to go on forever, while fights in real life are quite draining. Director James Gray remembered this while choreographing the fist fight scene in his crime drama The Yards. Mark Wahlberg plays a young ex-con looking for work. Willie, played by an equally youthful Joaquin Phoenix, assists him. Corruption, criminality, and murder pit the two against one another, and they battle. The fighting is filthy, gritty, and only lasts about a minute. The majority of the time, both men are grappling on the ground, and by the end, both are absolutely exhausted. It's not the most visually appealing fight ever captured on film, but it's probably one of the most compelling. Number 8. Mellish Dies. Saving Private Ryan 1998. Saving Private Ryan is widely regarded as one of the most historically accurate military pictures ever made. For dozens of veterans, the opening scene brought back memories of Omaha Beach. But Steven Spielberg's eyes for brutal realism didn't stop with the action sequences. Toward the end of the film, the American team resolves to defend Rommel from a German invasion. The battle becomes more granular, moving from street to street and building to building. Stanley Melch, one of the soldiers, fights in desperate hand-to-hand combat with a German while his comrade stands by, too afraid to move. Mellish's strength is slowly drained and he is murdered, creating a tense and gripping scene. Number 7. A Trapper's Revenge. The Revenant 2015. Leonardo DiCaprio has spent most of his career falling short of Oscar nominations. Leo was nominated 4 times for Best Actor without ever winning. Finally, on his 5th attempt, Leo was recognized for his performance as Huge Glass in The Revenant. Glass survives after being betrayed by a fellow fur trapper and mauled by a bear. Glass eventually finds his quarry, Tom Hardy's John Fitzgerald. The two trappers' struggle is savage, as they slash at one another with knives and a tomahawk. Glass finally exacts his vengeance in a scene that is so quick and brutal that it takes your breath away. Number 6. Stairwell Fight. Atomic Blonde 2017. Atomic Blonde was Charlize Theron's answer to John Wick. Theron starts as a triple agent in Berlin on the verge of the fall of the Berlin Wall in the Cold War action spy thriller. International intrigue has her fighting communist goons all over Berlin. After years of performing in dramas and comedies, Theron shows off her fighting skills in one of the best fights ever recorded. She fights her way through a swarm of cops to leave an apartment complex for 7 minutes. Her vicious and efficient blows dispatch one henchman after another. Nonetheless, unlike other films in the one-man army genre, the war takes a toll on her. She flees, but every hit is visible in her tiredness and the wounds on her body. Number 5. The Back Alley Brawl. They Live 1988. They Live is a 1988 sci-fi comedic action film starring former WWE superstar Rowdy Roddy Piper. He plays Nada, a vagrant who stumbles onto an alien plot to conquer the world. He finds a pair of sunglasses that allow him to view the aliens' true faces. He then meets with his co-worker Frank, played by Keith David, and attempts to persuade him, but Frank believed Nada was crazy. What follows is one of the most famous battle sequences ever shot. The two men pound on each other for more than 5 minutes. Even though they rehearsed the scene for 3 weeks, it feels spontaneous, like an actual fight. Number 4. Diner Fight. A History of Violence 2005. David Cronenberg was once described as the most audacious and challenging narrative director in the English-speaking world. His visual and narrative flair, as well as his forthright attitude to violence, have long sparked both admiration and criticism. His first 2 collaborations with Viggo Mortensen feature highly convincing fight scenes. Eastern Promises is famed for its epic naked bathhouse brawl. Mortensen, on the other hand, starred in A History of Violence 2 years prior. He portrays an ex-mafioso who lives a tranquil life in a small Indiana town. His background resurfaces after he makes national headlines for forcefully taking down 2 criminals. Cronenberg does not shy away from gore or brutality, and this movie reflects that. Number 3. Jake LaMotta vs. Sugar Ray Robinson. Raging Bull 1980. Raging Bull is a boxing film, but it's more of a slow burn drama than an action film, according to Martin Scorsese. Jake LaMotta's life is a Greek tragedy. His temper made him a force in the ring, but it cost him his life outside of it. Nonetheless, Raging Bull is a boxer's story, and Scorsese handles the combat scenes expertly. LaMotta's defeat against Sugar Ray Robinson in particular is one of the most renowned incidents in boxing history. This movie switches between Jake's stylized and realistic viewpoints, and the mix creates an authentic sense of what it's like to be Jake during that time. Number 2. Red Circle Showdown. John Wick 2014. The John Wick franchise taught the world to never mess with the dog of Keanu Reeves. John Wick's second major fight at the Red Circle showed the entire world one of the best fight scenes in movie history. Every punch and bullet feels like it could be from a documentary thanks to Reeves' extensive fighting and martial arts training. His combat reflexes, ammo awareness, and movement conservation are executed with military precision. Wick, while a one-man army, is not invincible. He absorbs significant damage, which is evident in the way he moves. Number 1. Hallway Fight. Oldboy 2003. Revenge films are a hallmark of modern cinema, and none does it better than South Korea. The second episode in Park Chan-wook's Vengeance trilogy is the 2003 blockbuster Oldboy. It stars Choi Min-sik as the obnoxious businessman Oh Dae-soo. He is kidnapped and held captive in an apartment for 15 years with no explanation. Dae-soo spends his time fantasizing about vengeance and training his body to both tolerate and inflict pain. Dae-soo seeks his tormentor after escaping, and this quest eventually leads to the film's famed hallway brawl. Dae-soo takes on a band of men, brutalizing them while taking a beating himself. Because of the extended take, Choi was fatigued by the end of the sequence, which also helped to give the scene a genuine feel. There you have it, 10 of the most mind-blowingly realistic battle scenes in film history. Did your favorite fight scene make our list? Let us know in the comment section down below. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.